Hare Krishna.
Antaha sa tasmin salila aste nanta sano hari yoga nidra nimilaksha stuyamano janalayai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
अन्तः स तस्मिन् सलीला आस्ते ननस् नान्ताशनो हरि योगनिद्रा निमीलाक्षा स्तूयमानो जनालयै.
All right, thank you. Thank you all for reciting. I'll recite now. Anta sa tasmin salila aste nanto nanto sano hari yoga nidra nimilakshaha stuyamano janalayai. Synonyms. Antaha within, saha that, tasmin in that, salile water, aste there is, ananta anant. Asana on the seat of Hari, the Lord, Yoga, mystic, Nidra, sleep, Nimila Akshaha, eyes closed, Stuyamana, being glorified, Jan Alayai, by the inhabitants of Janaloka planets. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaran Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord, personality of God, the personality of Godhead lies down in the water on the seat of Ananta and with his eyes closed, and the inhabitants of Jana Loka planets offer unto the Lord their glorious prayers with folded hands. Purport. We should not understand the sleeping condition of Lord to be the same as our sleep. Here, the word Yoga Nidra is specifically mentioned, which indicates that Lord's sleeping condition is also a manifestation of his internal potency. Whenever the word yoga is used in should be understood to refer to that which is transcendental. In that transcendental stage, all activities are always present and they are glorified by prayers of great sages like Bhragu. Hare Krishna. So we have one more verse for today, so I'll read that and then we'll discuss that. Evam vidir ahoratrai काल कालसत्योपलक्षित ही अपक्षितम शिवाप्यापि परमायुर्वयाशतम. Synonyms. Evam, thus, vidhai, by the process of aha, days, ratrahi, by nights, kal gatyah, advancement of time, up lakshitahi, by such symptoms, apakshitam, declined, eva, just like, asya, his, api, although, param ayu, duration of life, vaya, years, satam, 100. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Thus, the process of exhaustion of the duration of life exists for every one of living beings, included Lord Brahma. One's life endures for only 100 years in terms of the times in different planets. Purport by Srila. Every living being lives for 100 years in terms of the times in different planets for different entities. These 100 years of life are not equal in every case. The longest duration of 100 years belongs to Brahma. But although the life of Brahma is very long, it expires in the course of time. Brahma is also afraid of his death, and thus he performed devotional service to the Lord, just to release himself from the clutches of illusory energy. Animals, of course, have no sense of responsibility, but even humans who have developed a sense of responsibility while away their valuable time without engaging in devotional service to the Lord. They live merrily, unafraid of impending death. This is the madness of human society. The madness has no responsibility in life. Similarly, a human being who does not develop a sense of responsibility before he dies is no better than the madness who tries to enjoy material life very happily without concern for the future. It is necessary that every human being be responsible in preparing himself for the next life, even if he has a duration of life like that of Brahma, the greatest of all living creatures within the universe. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरदस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदिकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमा ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशताने। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रदायते कृष्ण कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गुरुकृष्ण पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तवतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तन हृदयन्ते स्तुभद्राणि विन्दोति सुरसं नष्टप्रायश बद्धेषु नित्यं भागवते भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टके। हरे कृष्ण। So here in this verse, today Srimad Bhagavatam, here Antah sa tasmin salila aste ananto asano hari yoga nidra nimilaksha stuyamano janalaya. The Supreme Lord, the personality of God, lies down in the water of seat of Ananta with his eyes closed, and the inhabitants of Janaloka plains offer the Lord their glorious prayers with folded hands. So here we see these divine personalities in the planet called Janaloka. So in this universe, we are on the Bhumandala. Bhumandala means the Earth planet. Earth planet is one of the planet in the Bhumandala system, which is the middle planetary systems. And above the Bhumandala, above this Earth planet, we have Bhuvar planetary system, where these ghostly spirits they live there. And then above that is Swargaloka. And then above Swargaloka is we have Maharloka, then we have Janaloka and Tapaloka. And then at the top we have Brahmaloka. And similarly, at the bottom of the below the Earth planet, there are 7 lokas or 7 planetary systems: Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Satal, Patal. So there are 14 planetary systems, and here in this verse is mentioned that the inhabitants of Janaloka, they are offering prayer to the Lord, who is lying down into the water and with his eyes closed, and he is lying on the bed of Ananta Shesha, and they are offering the prayers. So Lord is basically is always in like Lord Vishnu is lying down in the ocean, and he's in a yoga nidra. Generally, like nidra means sleep. So here Prabhupada says that yoga nidra. This word here is used by in this context is yoga nidra. So Prabhupada says that this yoga nidra word is mentioned. We should not take this yoga nidra as the ordinary sleeping condition of human being. So here we see like at the night, all of us, like most of the people sleep at night. Some people sleep at daytime also, or that's a different context. But uh, the all living entity sleeps. And it says that like these 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So they are common in for all living entities. So sleep is generally basically one of the condition a living entity has to go through. So there are like sleep is basically normally like in a human society, we sleep in the during the time of night. In the daytime we work. So in the night before after sunset, depend upon everybody's schedule. Like people go sleep. Some people sleep for 6 hours. Some people sleep 8 hours. Some people sleep 10 hours. Depend upon person to person, right? But the sleeping condition is considered as ignorance. It's a time of ignorance because when a person go to sleep, he forgets everything. Like he forgets his body and he actually goes in a different state. That's called sushupti or deep sleep. Sometime a person goes for a dream in the while sleeping, he dream. He goes in a dream. So while sleeping, there are two conditions: either he's in a deep sleep or he's dreaming, right? And while he's awake, he's working in a daytime. So while he's awake, he can do activity. He knows who is, what's his name, what is responsibility, what his position is, what his duties. So many things we understand while we are awake, right? But while we sleep, we forget our body, whether we are in deep sleep or whether we are in dreaming condition. So in both the stage, we forget our present body, right? And our body is lying on the bed, and we are in a different world. Right? Specifically, in a deep sleep, we actually lost our connection with the body. Hmm. And we go for a very, very deep sleep, and then we don't even remember where we are. Generally, we ask people, do you have a good sleep? So what does that mean? When we ask that, do you have good sleep means what? Anyone would like to respond? When we ask people like, do you have a good sleep? What does that mean?
Healthy.
Huh?
Healthy person.
No, 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 no. If no, we ask like people like, do you have a good sleep? Good sleep means did you forget your body properly or not?
Yeah.
Because what happen is that if you are anxious, you are if you're in anxiety, and if you are thinking some problems or something, you can't have a good sleep. Good sleep means that you forget your problems, means you forget your body. All the problems are associated with the body, and if you forget your body, then you have a good sleep. Good sleep means now you are no longer thinking about your body. That's the point. So in a sleeping condition, we forget our body, right? So means we forget activity of our body also. Our body is lying on the bed, even though body is functioning, regular, heartbeat is running, blood is flowing, all those things, breathing is going on, but soul, the atma, is got separated from the body for some part of time. It might scare you, but that's happened actually. If you are going to deep sleep, our soul get disconnected from the body for that time period. That's why we when we ask people that, oh, you have a good sleep, means in that condition a person feels very happy, isn't it? If you ask if I'll go for sleep and then I wake up in the morning and say, oh, I have very good sleep, it's really very blissful, very happy, I was very happy, means during that time I actually got disconnected from my body, and that's why I was not feeling any pain. We Pleasure and pain generally comes when we connected with the body. So in a deep sleep, we get disconnected with the body, and all our activities are stopped related to the body, and we are basically in a different world. Sleep. Similarly, if you're in dream, in a dreaming condition, we actually get disconnected from our body, and then we are in a different body in a dream. Say some people dream like they are being chased by a lion, or they are being harassed by their in-laws, or what. I'm saying there are different things people can get. Most of people get scary dreams. 90% dreams are scary. Some dreams might be very pleasant. Some people might be thinking that they might be in some good vacation, or they might be getting good salary or whatever. But most of the dreams are scary. So while we are in dream, we actually forget our present body, which is on the bed, and we manufacture another body in our dreaming condition, and we basically suffer and enjoy in that body, right? But here, and that sleeping condition is for a living entity is considered like in a mode of ignorance. Means they are completely they are completely disconnected from the present world, right? At that time they're in a different world, and their activities are not considered like really like like constructive activity, because once a person comes out from sleeping condition, then his real work start, because while sleeping he doesn't get any benefit out of that. But here Prabhupada uses this word yoga nidra. So why I'm discussing this is because this yoga nidra is very important to understand, that when Lord sleeps, he does not sleep like us. Means when we sleep, we forget everything. Means we forget our body, we forget that who we are, why we are here, what is our duty. We forget everything. We are in a different world. Either we are in a deep sleep or either we are in dreaming condition, right? But when Lord sleeps, he does not forget anything. He remembers, he's even though he's in yoga nidra, even though he's relaxing, but all the activities are still going on. All the activities are still going on. It's not that if Lord is sleeping, then the world will go in a chaos. If suppose parents are sleeping in a house, the children start making mess, right? And then everything goes up and down, right? But when Lord is sleeping, when Lord is going in yoga nidra, still everything works as planned. Nothing gets changed. The whole world is working as Lord has planned. There's nothing that can, right, like stop. And also, while we are sleeping, we do not hear. Like our eyes are not that active. Somewhere until somebody loudly shout near us, or just wakes her up. But when Lord is in Yoga Nidra, still Lord is hearing. That's why here you see these inhabitants of Janaloka, they are offering prayers to the Lord. So if Lord is sleeping, what is the meaning of offering prayer, right? But here Yoga Nidra means that Lord is sleeping, but this sleeping is transcendental. And here Prabhupada say in the transcendental stage, all activities are always present and they are glorified by the great sages like Bhragu. So all these like even the Lord is sleeping, but he is still fully active. All things are active, or everything is active, and he is working as if he's awake. So there is no difference. And Lord is sleeping does not mean that he is going in a mode of ignorance, as we go in a mode of ignorance. That's for our condition. So there is a difference between our sleeping condition and the Lord's sleeping condition. Okay, so next prayer here, in the verse 33, here it is said that, does the process of exhaustion of duration of life exist for every living being, including Lord Brahma? One's life endures for 100 years in terms of the times in different planets. So as I mentioned, there are 14 planetary systems, right? We have Bhumandala, which is in the middle, and then there are lower planetary system, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Satal, Patal. And similarly, we go up. We have Bhuvarloka, and then we have Swargaloka, then Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, and then Brahmaloka. In every planet, all the living entities, Srila Prabhupada says that normally lives for 100 years. 100 years in terms of that planetary system. So here 100 years is according to the sun. When sun is basically traveling, when the sun is traveling, so according to the day and night, the 100 years on the earth planet, a living entity have averages of 100 years. In a Swargloka, even the living entity there lives for 100 years, but their 100 years is basically different than the timing on the earth planet. Here we have uh, like uh, like 12 months, and every month is about 30 days. Some month have 31, some month have 29 or 28, whatever, but on average like 30 days. And total, like there are 365 days in a year. But when a year passed on the Earth planet, in the upper planetary system, in the Swargaloka, there is only one day. Like during the 6 months on the Earth planet is the daytime in Swargaloka, and during the 6 months, 6 month here on the Earth planet, other 6 months is the night in the Swargaloka. So means six 1 year on the Earth planet equal to one day on the Swargaloka, on these heavenly planets. And above that, Janaloka, Mahaloka, Tapaloka, and in Brahmaloka, one day of Brahmaloka or Lord Brahma is equal to, like on Earth planet, we have Kali Yuga is going on. Kali Yuga is the age this time right now where we are in the age of Kali. So Kali is going to go for 432,000 years. Right now we have just passed 5,000 years, right? So total 432,000 years is going to be on the for the Kali. And before Kali, it was Dwapara. So Dwapara was double the size of Kali. So 432,000 years multiplied by 2 is like 864,000 years. So these are the like Dwapara Yuga. And then before Dwapara, it was Treta Yuga. And Treta Yuga was three times the Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is 432,000 years multiplied by 3. It's like 12,009 1,000,000 290 to 296,000 years is basically on the Treta Yuga. And then before that it was Satyuga. So Satyuga was 4 times of Kali Yuga. So that way it's become one cycle. Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, one cycle. And when this one cycle goes for 1,000 times, that becomes the daytime in Brahmaloka. That's become daytime. And similarly, the Brahma's night is also 1,000 this Chaturyuga. So total is like 2,000 time when these four yugas are going on, that becomes one day in the Brahmaloka. And similarly, like so that is one day, and then in 1 month there are 30 days, and in 1 year there are 12 months, and then similarly the Brahma's age is 100 years. So here Prabhupada say that this the longest duration of 100 years belong to Brahma. But although life of Brahma is very long, it expires in the course of time. The main important point is it does not matter how long a living entity live. Eventually, there is a death. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly says that Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukh Doshanu Darshanam. So in this universe is called Mrityu Lokaha, or the place of death. Here everything is going to expire. Nothing is going to stay forever. So you go to a medical store or you go to pharmacy. On a pharmacy, there are so many medicines are there, but at certain point of time, things are going to expire. You go to food store, you go to grocery store, all the groceries, all the food is there, but at certain point of time, this food is going to expire. Right? Everything have expiration date in this material world, and material world itself has expiration date. This material world is also going to expire. When is going to expire? It only stays till the one breath of Lord Mahavishnu. He says that like when Lord Mahavishnu exhales out, millions of billions of universes comes out of his body, and when he inhales back, all the universes in the material world are basically goes back into the body of Mahavishnu. So what is the duration of this material world? It's just one breath of Lord Mahavishnu. So, which is equal to 100 years of Lord Brahma. So 100 years of Lord Brahma is equal to one breath of Lord Mahavishnu. And then this 100 years of Lord Brahma is equal to millions of billions of years on this earth planet. So on different planet system, there are different timings, but everyone lives, wherever you are living, you live only for 100 years. Accordingly, basically, you are allocated to the time, you are allocated to the planets. If you have to live longer, you will be transported to another planet. Srila Prabhupada compiled a book called Easy Journey to Other Planets. So if anybody is interested in living longer, they, rather than staying on the Earth planet, they should transmigrate to the another planet where the duration of life is longer. That's why, like human being, humans have this propensity, because they want to live longer, so they want to go different places so that they can actually have a better life. People always look for a better life. So that's why they want to move to the place where there is a longer life available, because people, as humans, people want to enjoy, they are looking for happiness. So, but wherever you are in this 14 planet system, death is sure. Everybody is going to die. So Prabhupada said that Brahma is also afraid of the death. So Brahma, even though his life is very, very long, still Brahma is going to die. So thus he performed. So in order to overcome death, in order to get protection from death, he performed devotional service to the Lord, so that he can get free from these clutches of material energy. Because this material world is called samsara, samsara chakra. Means here is a repeated birth and death is going on. Right? So this repeated birth and death will go on till we are in this material world. Until us we are not coming out from this material world and going back home, back to Godhead, this death and birth and death will continue. Right? It is said that punarapi jananam punarapi maranam punarapi janani jathare shayanam iya samsare bahu dustare kripa pare pahi murare. In that verse, he says that punarapi jananam punarapi maranam. In this material world, this is keep going on. Again and again there will be a birth, and again there will be death. Again and again we have to enter into the womb of the mother, our mother. Iya sansare bahudustar. It is very difficult to come out of this sansar chakra, which is cycle of birth and death. Kripa pare pahi murare. Only by the kripa of Murari, who is one of the name of Lord Krishna, Murari, because he killed the Mura demon. His name is Murari. He is the enemy of Murari. He's the enemy of Mura demon, so that's why he's Murari. So until as we don't get the mercy of Lord Murari, we will not be able to come out from this clutches of birth and death. So this is this point we need to understand is that without getting free from this metal contamination, we cannot come out from this cycle of birth and death. For that, in the Vedas, it is recommended that every human being should perform their duties very responsibly. So next Srila Prabhupada connects here is that in animal life, there is no feel of responsibility, there is no sense of responsibility. Right? It is said that ahara nidra bhay maithunam cha samanyam etat pasubhinanam dharma hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharme hina pasubhi samana. There are four common activities between animal and human being: this eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. There are four common. Like you see, like in animals also, they do these four activity, and human being we also do the same activity, four activity. But what is so special about human being? It is said that because human being have higher intelligence, a higher consciousness, higher sense of consciousness. So human beings should have a sense of responsibilities. Animals, they have lower intelligence. Their intelligence is not that developed. So for them, there's no sense of responsibility. They are only interested in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But if a human being is also doing the same thing without having a sense of responsibility, he is no better than an animal. So he say, ahara nidra bhay maithunam cha samanyam etat pashuvinam dharma hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena pashuvinam. So what is the important factor which is given in human society is dharma. Dharma means a sense of responsibility, a duty we have to perform as a human being while we are in this body. So for a human being, when we take a birth as a human being, we have a duty, we have a responsibility that we have to perform. If we fail to do that responsibility, we are no better than an animal. We are no better than an animal. So that's why Prabhupada says that who have developed a sense of responsibility while away their valuable time without being engaged in devotional service to the Lord, they live merrily unafraid of impending death. As a human being, if we are not performing our dharma, our duty, our prescribed duty, because in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the beginning, it is mentioned, it is asked that what is the ultimate duty of human being. So Sutta Goswami says that, Savai punsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahituki apratidatma suprasiti. The topmost or the highest duty of a living entity is basically to perform devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that devotional service should be uninterrupted and unmotivated. Very important point here is, so that's why here Prabhupada mentioned that without engaging in devotional service with the Lord, if you do not do our topmost duty, savai punsam paro dharmo, if you don't do this paradharma, which is the devotional service to the Lord, we are actually wasting our time. That we are losing our time. And because if you do not perform duty now, if you do not perform devotional service now, death is going to come. Slowly, we are moving, inching toward death. The day by minute, by second, every breath we are taking, we are going towards our death. So death is there, impending. It's there, it's coming. When is going to come? Yeah, we don't know, but it's there, it's going to come. And we are inching towards that day by day. And every moment, every second, what we are spending without performing our duty is actually wasting our time. And that's what Prabhupada say, this is the madness of human society. Even though we know that we are going to die, even though we know that the death is coming for us, still we are not really performing our duty. Rather than we are basically wasting our time in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And that's Prabhupada says the madness has the madness has no responsibility in the life. Similarly, a human being who does not develop a sense of responsibility before he dies, no better than madness, who try to enjoy material life very happily without concern for the future. So as a human, if we are only interested in enjoyment, in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, without a sense of responsibility, he is like a madman. Prabhupada says he is like a madman. He doesn't understand, because a mad person also does not understand the sense of responsibility. In our scriptures, in Vedanta Sutra, the very first aphorism is mentioned is that athato brahma jigyasa. Atha to brahma jigyasa. Now, because you got a human form of life, it is your responsibility to inquire about the Lord, about yourself, and about your relationship with the Lord. It is our duty. If we do not do that duty, then we are losing this valuable human form of life, which is given to us with a sense of responsibility, with a duty that is being assigned to us. And in order to become happy in our future lives, we should have to perform that duty. Otherwise, we people are basically looking for happiness in this present life. Yes, there will be happiness. Scripture says that you can enjoy this life, but by performing your duty, not by giving up your duties. If you give up your duties, which is main important duties, your devotional service toward the Lord. Ahatuki apriyata. Your bhakti, whatever the bhakti that we are doing for the Lord, that is our paradharma. If we are not doing that, and if we are trying to enjoy this material sense enjoyment, we are basically misusing this human form of life, and ultimately we are going to lose this valuable human form of life, and ultimately we are going to go back again to the lower species of life. So here Prabhupada says it is that every human being, it is necessary that every human being be responsible. Irresponsible for what? In preparing for the next life. It is a fact that there is a life after death. It's a fact. Many people in this material world think that this life is the end of the life. There's no life after death. They think that oh, this human form or this human is the last life, or after that there will be no life. So that's why they give so much importance to the body. They give so much importance to the body. They think that this body will remain as long as possible. So they want to prolong the life on this body. They want to prolong enjoyment in this body because they understand, their understanding is that there is no life after death. But that's not true. According to as per Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, this is not the final life. We have many lives we have taken. We have taken many births in our previous lives. Millions of lifetime we have gone through. Millions of time we took birth, millions of time we died. This is not the end of our life. This is not the beginning of our life. We are in this material world from time immemorial. We have gone through so many lives. If we don't go back to home, back to Godhead, we'll go again many lives. So this is just a temporary phase. This is just a one like life out of millions of life that we are going through. So we have to prepare for our next life. In a human society, we have basically our human society, according to scriptures, are divided into four spiritual orders. Like first 25 years of human life, 25% of the human life should be considered as the student life where, or a brahmachari life, where a person studies scriptures and understand the responsibilities and duties in his school, colleges, or whatever, like in Gurukul ashram and all. So next 25% of life is considered or given to human society to have a family life. So they can have a family life, they can have take a responsibility of taking care of families and the kids and all. Next 25% of life of human being is given for vanaprastha, means giving up your household duties and go to forest or go to a holy dham and serve the supreme personality of Godhead. And the last 25% of human life is given as a life of detachment, life of renunciation, or what you call sannyas. So in that time, a person should give up all his attachment, give up all his possessions, and live a life of renunciance and only serve the supreme personality of Godhead. Because it is said that a person has to last 25%, especially a person should basically prepare himself for the next life. But now, because in the age of Kali Yuga, sannyas is not an option for many of us, so it's important that we should actually prepare before than that. We should actually, the vanaprastha life is the main important where we have to basically give fully dedicated our 24-hour time for our next life. But again, because see, now vanaprastha is also almost gone because people are not coming out from the family life. So it is now important, again, go back, that we should start, like at least we should start preparing for our next life while in our family life. So if we do not prepare ourselves for the next life, then we are going to go into the lower speed of life. So that's why Prabhupada said that it is necessary that every human being be responsible in preparing himself for the next life, even if he has a duration of life like that of Brahma. So somebody might say, well, I have a longer life, I don't need to prepare right now, I can prepare at the end, when I become older. But even though you have a life of Brahma, you still need to prepare. Or in on this earth planet, many people don't have any assurance that how long they're going to live. You know, some people might say that the average life of human being is 100 years. So I'm going to live 100 years. So right now, let me enjoy. When I'm going to become 80-year-old, I'm going to do devotional service. Is that possible? Maybe, but who knows that you're going to live 180 years or not? So day by day, our age is reducing. People are dying at any moment. It's not that people are only dying when they're getting older. We see every day, you just open a newspaper or you open a news channel, all the time the news of death is there. It's not that only the older people are dying, even young people, infants, children, like women's, everybody is dying. Is at any point of time yes, when you become older, there are definitely there's a more sense of responsible, more sense of this understanding that the body is going to leave. But even in young age also people can die. It's not that the people are not dying in the young age. So it is so Prahlad Maharaj, that's why Prahlad Maharaj says that Kaumar Acharit Pragyo Dharman Bhagavataniyan Durlabham Manusham Janam Tadapya Adhrum Arthadam. So Dhruv Maharaj says that, Prahlad Maharaj says that because human life has no assurance, it is very important that we should actually perform devotional service right in the beginning of our life when we are age of 5. Kaumar Acharit Pragyo. So Prahlad Maharaj recommends that a person should start devotional service when he's 5 year old, minimum 5 year old. So the responsibility, because before 5 year old, like a person doesn't, a child does not understand that responsibility. So Prahlad Maharaj says that when a child becomes a 5 year old, he should perform devotional service regularly to prepare for his next life. Even Lord Brahma should be doing. Lord Brahma is doing. So every human being should have this responsibility that they should perform their param duty. The topmost duty is basically performing devotions for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If they will not perform that, then this human life will go waste, and then again the person will go back into cycle of 84. This 8,400,000 species of life is there, so they will go in the cycle of evolution again, and then who knows when they are going to get this human body again. Nobody knows when we are going to get this human body again to perform devotional service. And only in the human body we can perform this devotional service, which can actually take us back home, back to God. But that's why Srila Prabhupada always requested everyone, don't waste this human form of life. This is the chance that we have. And even in the same life, in this life itself, we can go back home, back to God by surrendering to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada always requested to take this opportunity of this Krishna conscious movement, which is right now going on. Still the world is a very peaceful place right now. Who knows when the world war can happen? Anytime war can break out, and then the whole world might be in a very chaotic situation. Who knows? This can happen at any point of time. So right now the situation is very peaceful. We have opportunity, we have temple, we have books, we have prasadam, we have deities, we have devotees, we have harinam, everything is available here. So Prabhupada says that we have to take this opportunity and then make our life successful by in the same human form of life. Don't need to go to another life. We can just directly from here we can go back home, back to Godhead, and make our life successful. With that said, I'll just stop now. Say thank you very much for listening to me. If there is any questions or any comments anyone have, or anyone would like to share their realization, so please go ahead and let me know. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice class. And it's a reminder, like we have to take the opportunity that we are given this
Life.
different form of life. We have to try just to get a better body or go back home, back to God. So, like generally, most of the people, there's so much in ignorance, they don't even care, what kind of body they're going to get next life. And I know even some family members, relatives, they just go on with life, and I'm just thinking what the best way to help them, if they're not ready to take, to accept it. Mm. To accept, that they have to utilize this human form of life to serve Krishna. So it's so sad, if you see somebody close to you not taking opportunity to use this human form of life to be Krishna conscious.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. So
Yeah,
what?
we should give them like some taste of devotional service in the form of prasadam, or maybe like if they are ready, if they can actually like hear pastimes of Krishna, then that will be really nice. Or they can hear the holy name. Yeah, I know it's very unfortunate that people are not taking, but as a devotee, we should always try to give them best what we can do from our side. Thank you very much, Mataji. For anyone else have any comment or question?
Same thing,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mataji.
I just want to say that it takes long time to realize God. So it's easy to start early, because when we are 8-year-old, I don't know, people can develop faith that time suddenly. So it really takes long time. So that's what I just wanted to guide. Thank you so much. Very, very inspiring class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, I guess Mataji, what you said is correct. But one thing that I have heard from the devotees is that uh, uh, like I know you are saying that it's very very take a long time to realize God, but I think realizing God is basically depend upon person's own like endeavor. Like if he really want to understand God, he can understand God very easily. But because we are not we are not really want to like go towards God, that's why it take long time, because otherwise God is very easily available. Like I was hearing one lecture, Maharaj was saying uh, that in this material world, if you want to achieve something, you have to work very hard. Right? So, for example, in order to earn money, a child has to prepare 25 years of education to get something, right? A good salary or whatever. And then after that, you need to have like, like for your children and for your house, buying a house is a dream, American dream. Here they say American having a house. So means if you in your lifetime, if you have your house means it's a big achievement, right? So we people don't feel stressed about spending so much time to get job or a house or these kind of things, but getting God or Krishna is very easy. It's not that difficult. All you need to do is basically chant Hare Krishna and then just remember the God is, and God is available. But people are not understanding the right process. That's why it's become it's look like to achieving God is very difficult actually. While to God is Krishna is very near to us in his our heart. Nobody is as near as Krishna is in our heart. So connection with God is our natural process, but because we have distracted our attention from God to material world, that's why it's becoming so long or so difficult to achieve God. Otherwise, God becoming God conscious or coming near to God is very easy and very very. Prabhupada says that this Krishna conscious process is very easy and sublime. Is just chanting Hare Krishna. But because we do not understand this process, because we are basically being by carried away this Maya, and especially this in the material world, they are basically promoting wrong things as your goal of life. One time like one student, he was like a junior year, like in a school, high schooler. So he asked me this question. He said like, I was explaining about the glorification of bhakti. He's saying that, but Prabhuji, in this whole world, people are glorifying material things like becoming successful in your career is the goal. To achieve a house is a goal. To get married, have kids is a goal. To achieve this is a goal. This is a goal. This is a goal. So how people get confused. What is the real goal of life? So what happened is just to attain those, they are running behind like many years, many so many time they are spending time to achieve those goals, and even though they might achieve that goal, but they are dissatisfied. While achieving Krishna is so easy, but because we do not understand that our goal is Krishna, that's why we are basically not inching towards that. So even though it's look like re- achieving God is take long time in this world, because we have distracted our time on different places. Like I would say example of Dhruv Maharaj. He was a 5-year-old boy, and within 6 months, when he did intense bhakti, within 6 months he achieved Krishna. But that is 6 months is too long. I'm saying even 6 months is too long. But Prabhupada said Krishna is immediately available as soon as we chant Hare Krishna. So yes, I know, like like for many, for all of us who are basically in this material world, this Maya is distracting us from away from Krishna. But if we get connected with devotees, if we get connected with Krishna conscious movement, uh, we can achieve Krishna in even this lifetime very easily. Even though it's
Yeah,
difficult, but we can the process. If we take the right process, it can become easy.
yeah, okay. Yeah, very nice. We are attracted by the material things. I think that's why.
Yes, yes. We are distracted by the material things. Otherwise, if we take the right process, like Prahlad Maharaj become devotee while he's in the womb of his mother, right?
Yeah,
And he was a 5-year-old boy. He's saying that becoming devotee, like he become 5-year-old boy and he become a devotee. Dhruv Maharaj become a devotee when he was 5-year-old boy. Parshit Maharaj become like he became he achieved Krishna within 7 days. 7 days, 7 nights. He heard Srimad Bhagavatam and he went back home, back to Godhead. So, and then especially like this in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned about this king, yeah, who actually like within one muhurata, King Khatwang, he within one muhurata he went back home, back to Godhead. So achieving Krishna is not a difficult task. It is difficult because we don't understand the process very well. If it is difficult because we are being carried away by Maya. It is difficult because we are taken by like this material energy to in a different direction. So as long as we take shelter of Krishna, like say in Ramayana, it is said that this when Vibhishana, he was thrown by Ravana, so he came to Lord Ram and he just surrendered to Lord Ram. And Lord Ram at that time said that anyone who comes to me and say that I'm yours, I will take care of that person lifelong or means eternally. So means if we just take shelter of Krishna, if we take shelter of Krishna, then we are done. Then Krishna will take care of us. But problem is that we are not taking shelter of Krishna. No. So it's process. Like one time, like I heard a lecture in Melbourne. Srila Prabhupada was giving class. So one devotee asked this question to Srila Prabhupada that we have done so many sinful activity in millions of lifetime, because Prabhupada says that we are here from time immemorial and we have done so many lifetime we have gone through. So he said that is it possible to counteract all these sinful reaction in one lifetime? Then Prabhupada's answer was very strong. He's saying that in just 1 minute, in 1 minute, you can become devotee of Krishna. All you need to do is just surrender to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarv Dharman Pratajya Mam Ekam Shranam Vraja. So Prabhupada said, if you follow this instruction, if you take shelter of Krishna, within 1 minute, Krishna will take care of you and you will become a devotee. Means all we have to do is just take shelter of Krishna. But yes, as you said correctly, to come to that understanding might take longer time. To come to that conviction to how to surrender to Krishna or when, how to take shelter of Krishna and really take shelter of Krishna, that might take longer time depending upon our material attachments. If we can give up material attachment very easily, then we can take shelter immediately. But because we are so much engrossed in this material activity in this material world, that's why it takes long time. But even though somebody takes shelter of Krishna at the advances, that's also fine. That's also fine, not a problem. But in this human form of life, at any point of time, if we become Krishna conscious, that is wonderful. I mean, this Sukadeva Goswami says that just become we have to become Krishna conscious before we leave this body. If we can become devotee of Krishna and we chant Hare Krishna before we leave this body, we are success, we are okay. But if we leave this body without becoming a devotee, then that's a big loss for us. So that's what Sukadeva Goswami says in 6th canto. So I hope this answered your question, Mata.
yes, yes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. All right. Any other questions, comments anyone have?
Good answers we got from everybody, my Prabhu. So it's a nice class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I do have a question.
Oh yes, Bhavagiri, please go ahead.
I was waiting for everyone else to ask. I figured I'd go last. So I'd save the worst question for last.
Okay.
So you spoke earlier about sleep and how sleep is considered in the mode of ignorance because we're kind of unaware of our body and we're kind of in a non-conscious state. Have you heard of sleep paralysis?
Sleep paralysis. No,
Yeah.
medical term.
It is. It's almost like a term where you're asleep, but it's almost like it's a state of fear that you kind of go in. It can feel like someone's like sitting on your chest, or it's hard to
Oh,
breathe, or so. How do we explain that then? If we're not associated with our bodies with when we sleep, how do we associate that? Because I've had that before, and it's like you're awake but asleep at the same time. Like you're kind of aware of things around you, but you can't like yell out or move. So
Oh,
what would that be?
so you are saying that you are, but you are conscious of your body. You are saying that.
You're conscious in a fact that you feel like I've had it before where it's almost like there's like a weight on my chest and I can't breathe, right?
Okay.
And you're aware and it's like you try to yell out, but you can't. It's almost like you're like paralyzed by fear almost. But it's like you're asleep but not asleep. It's a weird like in between phase.
Yeah. So that's not considered as sleep because you are aware of your body. So
Okay.
sleep is like when you are not aware of your body at all.
deep sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Got it.
sleep has two conditions, as I say. One is basically you are deep sleep when you completely forget your body and you're not dreaming. When you are in deep
Got it.
sleep, like so, when you're in deep sleep, you are basically disconnected from your body, and then you are in a stage of ananda, in the stage of happiness. You will feel when you go in a deep sleep, you wake up, you feel very happy. Oh, I was very happy. It was nice sleep, right?
Yep.
And when you're dreaming means you are in different body and you are basically not thinking about your present body. But when you are in the same body, you are thinking about your body, that something is in your chest or something is going on your body. It means that you are trying to go in sleep, but you can't sleep. It might be
Okay.
some kind of medical condition that you are not fully awake because your body is not working. And I remember that same thing what you're saying is like in 2008 I had some medical issue and something was going on in my stomach and I could not get up and I could not sleep also, and it's just moving in my stomach and I thought like what's happening, and I can't move my hands and all those kind of things. So I can see that, but that means you are not in sleep because you are conscious that something is going on your body. So it means that's a medical condition. That's not fully awake also because you really can't fully function your you are basically you cannot understand things because you are in a different stage of mind, right? So you can say that your mind is basically stuck in some condition, but that according to my understanding, that is not considered sleep condition.
Okay. Great. I kind of thought that's what you'd say, but I wanted to ask just to kind of confirm.
Sure. Because in Shastra, in the scripture, it says that there are three conditions. One is awake, second is deep sleep, third is dreaming. And fourth is basically, which is Turiya, which is transcendental stage. When you are in a samadhi, that is when you are basically in Krishna consciousness, you are going to samadhi, that is called the fourth stage. But for a common living entity, these three stage: awake, sleep, and deep, and then this dreaming. So other than that, any condition will be in between somewhere.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure. All right. All right. Okay. So thank you all for joining. So we can end our call. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada.